How y'all doing? It's Sunday. Shame Sunday. Shame Sunday. Y'all coming in? Pull up, hop in, while you cooking dinner, straightening up. Just put me on listen. Because it's going down. Fed up. Tired. It's too much. It's a damn shame. Shame. Must I every week give the definite definition? Or y'all got it by now? Think you got it? I'm not for just shame, a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. I ask it again, y'all conscious out there? Paying attention? The destruction? Ladies, what's going on? Y'all being real shameful out there, calling it pride, all this self-proclamation. Somebody else got to say you good. Be good to people. I don't see that. I'm really not seeing that. Not controlling our homes, our kids, what they watching, what they wearing, promoting thoughtism, hoardism. We're promoting single motherhood, promoting and continuing to give the same dialect of men are to be feared. Shame. Shame on y'all. I ain't scared to tell you. How about that? If you know me, you know me. If you don't, here I am. If it don't apply, let it fly. It's my motto. If it ring a bell, then it struck a chord. Might need to focus, reflect a little bit. Sometimes you are the cause of the destruction and the dysfunction. Women, we like to control everything. Been raising a lot of females in this house, and the conversation of you can only control you has been up front since little. You cannot control me. You cannot control your father. You cannot control everybody around you with your tears, with your excuses. You can only control you. So, ladies, if nobody's ever told you that before, you can only control you. We can only control our children up until a certain point. So, stop being delusional and thinking you can control everything, because you can't. Y'all ready? Welcome to my people in the chat. Knowledge and Relationships is in the building. How are you doing today? Appreciate you popping in. Harris Tribe Media Group is in the building. The best admin ever. Always holding me down. Y'all share. Send this out. It's about to go shameless today. Got a couple of videos. We're going to chit chat about it. If you know somebody that needs to be shamed, send it to them. If you're on board, you rock with me, then let's roll with it. Because it's freaking sad. Me and sis just realized we OGs, man. 45 years old, I would consider myself an OG. There's no matriarchs other than my mother. So no grandmas, no great grandmas. So you might need to listen a little bit. Something to teach you today. There's no more shame in our behavior. Everything is just acceptable. Hey, Red Lipstick Vibes podcast is in the building. Karma Coleon is in the building. Y'all go over to her YouTube page and subscribe. Good sister. Talk about some positive stuff and reflecting on our hoods. You know, that old school rap. lyricist. Go check her out. I appreciate y'all popping in. That's what we talking about today, right? Yep. Knowledge and relationships. It is unfortunate. I don't know if it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of been taught over the last 15, 20 years. It's bad girl behavior, this unladylike behavior, this cantankerousness, this lack of standards, lack of morals. Yeah, it's been up front, present, TV, music, reality TV. So, programming our young women and our older women are easily programmed because they're following along right along with their 20-year-old daughters. We are not the same. And we should not be on the same page, looking for the same men, wearing the same clothes, going to the same parties. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's what your leadership looks like as a mother, as a role model to these young people coming up, that they can do and be anything they want, whenever they want, and God gonna manifest the man for them. If you don't want one, that's fine. Do whatever you want. If you plan to have a family and a future with a significant other, you need to mind how you move. You need to be conscious how you move. The way you dress, the way you speak, the way you act out in public, the way you treat your friends and family, all of it's monitored, it's watched. So if a man is not celebrating you, he don't want you. If you're being tolerated, he don't want you. Know your place. Deal with it or leave. Too many excuses. I've heard way too many. Definitely learned behavior. That's right, sis. A lot of it. Sometimes you don't even realize you're teaching it by allowing things, not saying no, and not saying check that shit. We coddle our children way too much. We don't want to hurt their feelings. They might hate us later. Truth hurt. They don't like it. But I ain't your friend. I am not your friend. When you become an adult and a responsible adult, then we can maybe get on that friendship level. But until then, you're a parent. I'm your mother, and I have a certain role, and that is to be as honest and blunt as possible and to nurture you as much as possible. But to pander and coddle, we're not doing that. At least I would say I tried not to. Guilty a little bit, but pretty stern, pretty blunt. Had to pull back at times, but that don't work, y'all. Keep a foot on them. We're responsible for them. You gotta take electronics, take them. You bought them. They wouldn't have them without you. So until they can pay for it themselves, it's monitored. You decide. We make way too many excuses, and we ain't have nothing. Nothing. Barely had color TVs to watch. Do we realize that? You need to reflect on that. Have your children reflect on that. I used to love hearing the old people's stories, how they used to have to walk 15 miles to work for 10 hours and have to walk back, feed kids, take care of home. We are not built like that no more. You people are not built like that anymore. The way our youth get tired of hearing those stories. They need to. They have no understanding of gratitude of the things that we've made possible for them to be easy and fast, instant gratification. We messed up a little bit, y'all. We got some check-ins. I appreciate y'all popping in. Check that shit. I need Anthony. I appreciate you. Trash can waves is in the building. Blessings to the chat and the party. Come on for Shame Sundays, man. Come on in. Missed you, Trash. How you been doing? All right, we got this one. What's this? It's unfortunate that we have to be silent and allow it to happen, or we are phobic. Yeah, right? That's interesting. We don't have to be silent. I ain't phobic of nothing. Too many fears, right? You're afraid of what? Somebody not being your friend no more because you checked them? Your kids not liking what you said and they're upset? Got to be held accountable. Somebody's always watching. Even if a human person, y'all was raised with God is watching, so what's up with that? He's always watching and we're still behaving like animals. Like we ain't got no sense. Shame. Shame, a loss of respect or esteem, dishonor. We should be able to say something because people need to know how they're going to be perceived. When things are not okay. Foolish behavior. Got to make them conscious. Maybe they're not conscious. If you make them aware of it, maybe they'll change it. Keep getting the same results from doing the same thing. It's insanity. You're doing too much. All right, let's see what videos we ready to dive into. If anybody want to pop in, I'm going to share this link in a minute. Come on in. Let's talk about it. It's not okay. These young people going to be the grown people taking care of us. And I don't trust they're going to do a good job. It's not okay. We got to protect ourselves in our elder years. You have to remember, grown people have tantrums like little kids, and they lose control like little kids. They'll burn down the whole house. Because their parents, they're so used to their parent giving and giving. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen these entitled kids taking out the whole family because they couldn't get what they want. It's not just because these people have money. It's happening to people who don't have money. Somebody got a check. Grandma ain't want to cut them none. Grandma gone. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. All right. What we got for you?
Girl sick. Homie must have up, yeah. Homie must have been. Oh, weak. Damn, shorty. Homie must have up, huh?
You really out here? So, yo, what the you doing? Yo, what the is you doing? What you doing to my car, son? Hey, what the talking about? You always think I'm with somebody.
What the car do? Ladies, Destruction of property. Destruction of property. What I consider to be shameful. Y'all see this video? Did y'all just see that? Okay, ladies. It's gonna be times where the men are not gonna do what you want. Like I said again, control. You are not allowed to control a grown ass person. You should know where you stand in a relationship. And if it flew over your head, then shame on you. You either deal with it or leave. When a man does what he wants, it is not your place to punish him, destroy his property. You can just choose to leave the situation. That is the mature thing to do. That's the responsible thing to do. Because I don't understand why you don't feel like you can go to jail behind that. It's jail. Really? Was it really that good? Was it really that bad? I would love to hear a woman's side of the destruction. I don't know too many women that would come up and express, that they bleached the man's clothes and did all this and did all that. Choose better. I think if you had more boundaries set and you respected them yourself, you wouldn't put yourself in that situation. Because he's being who he is. Y'all got married. You are not married to that man. It's a shame. It's delusional. Ladies, it's delusional. Got check-ins. We got check-ins. Don't choose toxic people. Great advice. Great advice, knowledge in relationships. Absolutely. Trash can checked in. He said, no woman ever tried me like that. Right? Because your self-awareness, your boundaries set already, you're not going to deal with that. First sign of it, you're out of there. But not everybody has that discipline. What keeps someone around? Some good D, some good P, some good head, money.
On the check-in.
We got wild child DNA on the check-in, my brother. Peace to you. We miss you, man. Come potty with you soon. But welcome. Today is Shame Sundays. I'm bringing some shame back to our community because it's getting out of control, brother. The kids, the young teens, the ladies, out of control. Cantankerousness, destroying property when they can't control people, not holding themselves accountable for these badass kids, these half-naked young people, intentionally raising our girls to be baby mothers and not requiring marriage. Okay, if the marriage don't work out for 5 years, require marriage before you come spitting out some babies. Secure yourself that person is a good enough person that you would marry and have children with for a lifetime. Because even if you're not together, it's a lifetime commitment. Knowledge in relationships checked in. He said, men, be proactive. Never be in a relationship where you have to react, to be reactive. I always tell them, go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. Please. Don't stay where you're just tolerated. Don't stay for the good whap, because it can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. Dangerous whap. Kind of to get you deleted. If good whap is attached to cantankerousness, hoardism, you might wanna stop. Or tell your sister that don't play that shit. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. It's not new to me. I kind of been casted out parts of the family just because my bluntness and my truth comes out really fucking hard sometimes, and I apologize, but it's needed and it's necessary. And if my truth and my honesty and my bluntness got you away from me, then so be it. You were not meant to be in my space. Because I cannot lie, especially when I see the crack in my own family. And nobody perfect.
You have a guess.
I got a guess? Oh my goodness. We gonna bring to the stage my brother M3 with knowledge and relationships. How you doing on this lovely Sunday, sir?
Pretty good, Miss. She said. I'm still trying to learn about this new system that you have, but yeah. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay,
I
I
was trying to turn
appreciate
my
it.
camera sideways, but it won't allow me to do that.
Oh, I see you okay though.
Okay, good, good.
You sound
But
good
yeah,
too.
but thanks for letting me come up.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
you.
just wanted to kind of just say like my 2 cents to it. I mean, I said it in the chat, but usually whatever I say, I like to just come up to the panel just so I can say it live.
That's right.
People like men have to be careful like who they choose. I mean, that goes for women too. People in general, if you're in a toxic relationship, yes, we know that the person that you're with is toxic. That is obvious. But what people don't talk about is that why did you stay or why did you choose a toxic person? And a lot of people, excuse me, will try to deflect and say, well, I didn't know she was toxic. I didn't know she was going to be like that. But my opinion is that I feel like that's an excuse because even like when you're going through the phase of courtship, or I guess United States people like to jump into sex right away, or, you get to at least see like the red flags of a person. My advice to a lot of people is that stop trying to rush to get into these relationships because maybe the person look good at a time, maybe the person has something to offer your emotional needs, but everybody knows the pattern.
Right.
Everyone in any relationship in the courtship phase is always going to try to be their best selves. It's always going to try to be presentable as much as possible. And so I feel like in my opinion, I think that people need to slow down and take their time. I'm not saying slow down and not have sex or whatever, because I know a lot of people's not going to agree to do that. But people like use these type of excuses about like, well, I didn't know this person would be like that because you've been so blindsided. You've been too focused on the wrong type of things. And because you've been focused on the wrong type of things, it's why like, people get into these like toxic type of relationships that they shouldn't even be in.
Right.
So I
I think
mean,
it puts, you know
that's
how
all.
they say, don't judge a book by its cover? I think most of us do that. I'm infatuated with the idea of who you are because I don't know who you are. And I'm upset with myself because I didn't see who you were.
Yes, yes.
I think a lot of women have that anger, that deep down, it's like you conned me versus you weren't paying attention. You sometimes you gotta own it that you are not paying attention as a woman to the small cues and the details of said person, and especially in our older years. You can probably take the excuse of naivety before 19. Even then, when I reflect on myself, red flags up front, I don't deal with it. I'm leaving. I don't care how good it is, how good you look, what money you have. So to say we get excited because it's the idea of you. I already have an idea of who you might be with your looks, with your money, with your six pack and 6 inches, and then when it doesn't turn out to be that way, it's your fault.
It's just so annoying.
Ignoring, absolutely. Yes.
You mind if
So
I
it is.
share like a little story?
Yes, please. Hey,
All right. So
welcome. Hey,
I'm gonna tell a story about it was like a young woman, okay, and at the time, I mean, she's married now with kids, but at the time, she was going through her phase of jumping from relationship to relationship, and so because she was jumping to these different type of relationships, um, the last relationship before she got into her main one, um, the guy like wanted to control her. She had a good job. Well, she still held on to her good job. I just say she was working Kaiser as a manager, and the person is a construction was a construction worker, and so the guy wanted her to not work. This is at the time. This is the stage where they was already engaged, where she was moving out from her side of town to live with his mother for the time being.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Bless
Excuse me for that. Thank you. What's up, Mister? He said, "It's a little brother."
you.
And so one day, like she was like, like taking a shower. The guy comes visit her at the mom's house. The guy wanted to have sex with her, and she was not ready to have sex with him. These are like was the type of relationships where it was supposed to be the so-called Christian relationships where you're supposed to keep yourself pure and all that.
Mhm.
But the point was that like the guy wanted her. He told her like these things all to the end part, you know, and they only had like maybe 3 days left until they was about to get married. Eventually, the woman made the smart decision
Mhm.
to call the wedding off and break up with the guy because what she saw was if she was in that type of relationship and she got married to him, this guy would have controlled her entire life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's one thing to, at least be in control to help be supportive of a
Right.
person's needs, to
Right.
help as a husband to love your wife unconditionally, if
Right.
possible.
Mhm.
But when you have that, so I'm going to say this: the woman was black with a good career. The husband to be was Mexican. So culturally, some of them prefer for their women not to work,
Right.
and that's where it was leading off to, and it was also going to lead off into other things as well. So fast forward everything, she finally made a good decision to leave the guy, which in my opinion, she should have left the guy like a long time ago.
Right.
Especially if you saw, red flags prior to that.
Yes.
But anyways,
Yeah.
the point of the story is that like when you see those red flags, don't try to compromise. Don't try to stick around. Just know that nothing's gonna get better from the first red flag that you see, and it
Right.
only gets worse as boundaries continue to get crossed.
Mhm.
Now
Yep. And
she's living a happy life with her new husband and got two kids by him, and she's still working her little happy job and all that. But I just
awesome.
want to kind of share that story to like the ladies, like, hey, I mean, and this goes for men too. Don't
Yep.
sell for anyone that you're not attracted to, and ladies, don't sell for anyone who's not gonna really be a good husband to you. I mean, if you're looking for a husband, that is
Right. Absolutely. I mean, and know what you're willing to get the kind of husband that you want. Right?
exactly
Because
too.
I want this kind of husband and that kind of husband, but what are you willing to give him in order to get what you want? Because he
Mm-hmm.
wants something too. And this is why, I'm really like to bring this to the forefront because a lot of women want to control that dynamic of the marriage, and it's like it's a marriage, it's a union. He is the man. He has a way of how it's going. So this man that you were talking about, he was expressing along the way what he wants, whether he was controlling it or not. I don't want you to work. Meaning, once we have these children, I want you to take care of our children, and not
Mm-hmm.
focus. Because once you work in 8, 10 hours, you don't have as much energy to take care of your children. Now you're mustering up energy to take care of your children. So logically, most men do want their wives to be home to take care of their children. I don't see anything wrong with that, as long as you have a good husband. You know what I mean? So, like you said, make good choices, and those things should absolutely be discussed. How do you want that to happen? Especially the young unions. Nobody has any children. Those are things that should be discussed, because if he's full on in a career, she's full on in a career, 3 years down the line, they want to decide to have children. What's going to happen? You're going to go back to work after you have the children and pay all this money for somebody else to raise our kid? Like, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Women think men want them to throw away their careers and professions and things like that, but that's not it. They don't want you to hand your children over to somebody else, for somebody else to traumatize them, teach them, lead them, pick up characteristics from all types of other people and children, bad habits, germs, cooties. All of that is sacrificing. When you say you sacrificing your children's safety, their nurture, their education, by putting them in somebody else's care. So, indoctrination.
Exactly. And ladies, don't say that you are the table too when these men ask you these questions. We have a lot of them that be like, yeah, that's all I could provide. I'm the entire table. You know what I mean?
So then you take your entire table ass and live on your own and get you a dog. I mean, men don't want to hear that. That means you have no room for me at this table. When you say that, you have no room for me at this table. And if that's the type of woman you are, then I choose to not participate. That means you want to control the whole table, what goes on it, how it's seasoned, where we put the chairs, how the spoons and shit is set up. No, that's not how marriage is. That is not how a healthy union is to go. Men have a place. Men have a say. They have a way that they want it to go. They have a way that they want their children to be raised, because they're not just yours. They don't just belong to you. You don't own them. You're a partner with somebody else. You wouldn't have got it without that person. So I think the delusion is rampant. Because logic and reality, this is what it is, right? I would not be able to have that baby if you didn't give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I don't want to hand off our seed to somebody else to cultivate it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You sure can. I got a great guy coming on in here.
Yeah, Miss SheSaid, I'm about to bounce out, but thank you for allowing me to join in. Yeah, no problem.
I heard them 3 stories.
Peace, Mrs. Peace.
Hello there, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
Welcome.
It's popping. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
All right,
I'm happy to see you.
Yeah. It's good, everybody. Hit that like button.
Yes.
Subscribe, share. The Mrs. is on every Sunday. She always got something interesting to point out.
Clap at.
Shame somebody about. And I mean, I get the whole gist of your Sundays, and not to be insensitive, but to point out that we've gotten a little away from when we were able to point out when someone might not have been moving in a certain way, when we were together and discuss and voice our opinion and constructive criticism on one's movement and one's behavior. So kudos to you for having the courage to even, attack a topic like this on Sundays, because, a lot of people save their Sundays for Zen, and starting the week fresh, but you want to give people a perspective to start your week, and maybe a what not to do list, a how not to move list. And if a young girl is on the fence or maybe moving different, maybe she could get some pointers here or how to do so. So thank you again for that.
Thank you.
But I heard you got some good videos up here, so that's why I came.
I do.
I want to see one. You got some check-ins?
Yeah, Red popped in. Said, yes, not many will do that. Great job, sis. All things, sis. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Sis doing the Lord's work.
She is. Fire and brimstone.
I mean, the men I've heard the men get it. I've heard the men get it. All my life. All my life they've been held accountable. From my father to his father, to my brothers, to all the men I grew up with, to, you know, the bums on the street, like, held accountable. While they playing ball, while they doing whatever they doing with not with their families, like I've heard them in front of everybody getting checked. When it comes to us ladies, not so much. And then it's kind of brushed off, and then you're a hater. So
let's take a look.
Let's check this one out.
See what you got.
Yeah, when I come in here to live, I don't want to look at your man. Let's just start there. So if you want to press me about being insecure about who's looking at your man,
It's not insecurity.
in the mirror, I'm gonna do just that.
Okay, babe, I'll call
So-
you back. Okay, no, I just want you to look at it from my, because I hear you, and I apologize, because it sounds like you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I really don't.
So I came in with my man that day, right? We were walking to the elevator, and look, I gave you a smile. Look, you saw both of us. You saw both of us. You said what?
Did I smell back?
Yeah, you were looking at me, you were like, yeah, okay. So after that, then I came down here to finish out my workout, and then we were done. And he brought that up with me, and I was like, oh, did she have raisins? I saw you walk past, and you were like, you slowed down, like right at the corner there, and you like wiped your butt like that. And I understand your hands get workouts way, but I was like, why would she slow down right there? Like, I'm standing right there. She's seen us both walk in together. So I'm just trying to paint the picture.
Insecure or no? Sis, she's checking her for looking at her man in the gym. A glance from days ago.
Right. That's what I heard. I heard like the other day or something she alluded to, and I'm like, wait, this is not from today, the actual day. So she's checking her from another day.
From another day. And her man discussed it. She was actually on the phone with him. So she felt compelled to check her. But she's not insecure.
Wow.
Ladies, what y'all think?
You got some check. They thinking. Let's see.
Tell y'all what I think after.
Sis said, what the devil? She also said, man on earth.
I am working out.
She checking the young lady about her man. She is.
Yes.
Very informative. I'm confused. What happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Laugh. Yeah.
She said, oh, he must got
Oh.
ball.
Right. And that's my point. When the first video you played, she was destroying his car.
Okay.
Second video you played, she was addressing the young lady about a previous day.
Right.
So what did I say to you when I first saw these is like, if men are so bad, they're going to bat, destroying property, jeopardizing freedom, approaching unnecessarily, approaching after the fact, over men they don't want, over bad men, over horrible partners, over.
Make it make sense.
I'm back to what sis said. I'm confused.
Yeah.
What happened?
So yeah, she was stepping to her about, incident a few days ago while they were at the gym. Her and her man was at the gym, and on the pass by, the young lady may have looked at him. So, she wanted to bring it to her attention for whatever reason, because again, like I said, women want to control everything and everybody. She wants to control this woman and where she looks. Make that shit make sense, y'all. And then really gonna point out that she's not insecure. I'm not insecure or anything. Yeah, you are.
Every time you feel ashamed and you repress who you are, think about this scene. This is shame embodied. This is what you're doing to yourself. So stop. Every time you feel ashamed and you repress who you are, think about this scene. This is shame embodied. This is what you're doing to yourself. So stop.
you know, it's just my perception. People who feel the need to control everything and everybody, they don't know who the hell they are.
Sis said she was letting her know.
Letting her know what? Letting her know what, sis? That's the thing. Letting her know what?
That's my.
Don't look at him? Because she looked at him, she wants him. That's insane.
Sweetie.
Yes, sir.
They got a song about that. If you mess with my man, I'm the one to bring it to you.
That's if you mess with him. If you disrespect my husband, put your hands on him, invade his space, and I'm around, I'm wrecking you. That's just what it is. But you look, even if he looks and they smile and catch an eye, like it does not bother me, offend me. I'm upset with him, I'm upset with her. He is awesome. And if I saw it, I'm sure somebody else is gonna see it. I don't have to know you. You gotta be able to admire beauty without feeling threatened by someone else. That was just women. Get it together. If you carry this type of insecurity, because that's what it is, if you carry this type of insecurity, you need to get some therapy before you get in a relationship. And be mindful of men who behave the same way. He want to check somebody because he looked at you on the pass by. Danger. Red flag. Not okay. Just realistically and logically, somebody is going to appreciate your beauty. Doesn't mean you're going to sleep with them. Does not. Calm down.
Got check-ins. Mama said, right, okay. So it didn't even happen that day. Right, sis?
Even if it happened that day, not okay, still.
She said, man, I feel a way if a woman don't look at who I'm with. I'll be like, yeah, he with me.
He with me.
Yeah,
right, just surprised.
Sis said that was insecure and she shouldn't go places with him anymore. She should have to sit
She should put a bag over his head.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
I agree,
Watch
y'all. I mean, in many years, I've watched friends, I've watched, women behave. I've seen it on TV, we see it. This shit is not attractive. It's not going to make somebody celebrate you more. Does it show you love them more because you're so threatened? That says a lot about somebody, that they are so threatened, somebody leaving, their absence, or them doing something, walking away from you. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You don't have control of that. I'm sorry. When fear leads you, it's going to be demise. There's no optimism. There's no positive thought. Fear. It keeps you stuck. Makes you behave in a foolish way.
Fear is a great motivator.
Yeah, it can be a good motivator. But that fear, it's not a good motivator because that girl could have got offended and beat her up in that gym.
Absolutely.
Just because.
Do you see what it motivated her to do? It motivated her to do something that we as people see unnecessary. We see it as immature. We see it as, a bunch of stuff we just described it as. But that's what the fear of this woman moving in on her man made her do. Again, just motivation. You want people to do something, tell them put on masks. Tell them it's monkeypox outside. It's all type of germs. It's war. It's famine, disease, which been forever. But yeah, that'll stop people from doing a lot of stuff. And again, it just motivates you to move in a certain way when people kind of steer you. But this fear that she's moving on, not a healthy one. Right. Because it says more about you, like you said. You have more of a fear of your inadequacies.
Yeah. That's self-reflection. Self-reflection. You must not be giving your all into that relationship because you're so worried that somebody can simply look at him and take him from you.
Yeah, put a bag over his head, sis said.
I know some people with all-out brawls because somebody looked at somebody. Like, shame on you.
Yep, tore her butt up, but just stepped on.
Shame on you. I've seen so many men get in trouble for a look. I mean, seriously, like damn near ready to break up for a look to a stranger. Ladies, you cannot be in this insecurity. You can call it whatever you want. It is insecurity.
Every time you feel ashamed and you repress who you are, think about this scene. This is shame embodied. This is what you're doing to yourself. So stop. Every time you feel ashamed and you repress who you are, think about this scene. This is shame embodied. This is what you're doing to yourself. So stop.
I ain't perfect. I do not proclaim to be perfect. But a lot of self-reflection came along with my childhood. Made me choose to make good decisions and better decisions. Hard decisions. Very conscious of how I'm seen. Even if I didn't know, y'all was telling me. So, you are being seen.
Heard you got another clip.
I do. Y'all want to see this one?
I'm here for it.
Let's go.
Let's get the disclaimer first, though, for this one.
Please.
Yeah, this one. Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
So look out, evildoers, because the Fair Use friends are ready for action.
The Fair Use friends are facing multiple copyright infringement lawsuits and are technically not ready for action.
I thought we had this taken care of. Disturbing trend going on in America these days. Rewriting science to fit ideology or just to fit what you want reality. On in America these days. Rewriting science to fit ideology or just to fit what you want reality to be. We've gone from fat acceptance to fat celebration. That's new. To view letting yourself go as a point of pride? We used to at least try and be fit and healthy, and society praised those who succeeded. Now the term body positivity is used to mean I'm perfect the way I am because I'm me. It's Orwellian, how often positivity is used to describe what's not healthy. Of course you can get away with anything bad for you when you're young, but let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a fat 90-year-old? People like Adele face shame campaigns for losing weight. This is madness.
Obesity is the #1 killer of Americans today. And I feel like I have to say that 5 times for it to sink in. Obesity is the #1 threat to American lives today. If you turn on the news, what are they trying to convince us? They're trying to convince us that racism, police brutality, transphobia, homophobia, Islamophobia, all of these things are going to end Americans' lives, right? Like these are the biggest threats to Americans' lives. I think it's so disappointing that we can't even say the fact that, hey, we are the most developed nation. We are the most incredible nation in the world. And yet at the same time, we have the highest rates of obesity. How on earth is that even possible? And it's not even just now. If you look at the history, 1949, the National Institutes of Health, they issued a statement saying that obesity in the 40s was an issue. 1950s, 1960s, and the 1970s, I think it was. The NIH said that obesity was the most prevalent metabolic disorder of the age.
Yeah.
It was in the 70s, and now it's 2019. And then not only are we not addressing publicly what's really happening with obesity, but we've taken it a step further. We're glorifying women for being obese and not for their accomplishments. It's not like a woman happens to be overweight and she's accomplished something incredible, because that's a different story. But we're praising and glorifying women simply for being obese,
Right.
simply for showing their obesity and showing their big bodies. There's something really, really wrong with that. And there's something really sad to that too. And it always brings me back to, I think, kind of the crux, the foundation of the radical left's platform. It's amoralization.
What y'all think about that?
We got some check-ins. That was a powerful clip. And of course, you know, we absolutely not talking about any health issues or, you know, reasons that are beyond our control for our weight. We are absolutely talking about health conscious and people who are able to be health conscious, but decide not to do so. And we also got to check in. It's possible because this country used the most dangerous chemicals in the food is one reason. Absolutely.
That's what I was going to speak on. You know, just imagine, you know, the first early years of your life eating food with all these said chemicals in it. It's definitely going to cause your body to have an issue, all types of autoimmune diseases, thyroid dysfunctions, all kinds of things that control the fluctuation of weight.
Absolutely.
But a lot of us don't have that.
Right.
And it's just laziness, bad choices in eating, lack of exercise, you know.
Education
and all of that.
But yeah, we got to check in. Green Vegan said, when I lost 80 pounds, I lost 80% of my pounds.
Wow. Wow. Kudos to you, sis, for losing 80 pounds.
I'm going to say that. When I lost 80 pounds, I lost 80% of my friends. That's a powerful statement because you telling me.
I mean, you know, like you said, Adele was shamed for losing weight. Monique too. I mean, she was the comedian known for skinny shaming.
Yeah, she used to have something to say about you skinny bees.
Ooh, Lord of mercy.
How she worded. Sis checked in. She said, and it's impossible because this is the land of the free. Free will, free upgrades, upsize. You want extra large, double X?
I mean, you know, supersize it.
Quadruple.
That was a thing 30 years ago. That started 30 years ago.
Right.
Like she said, it's not just happening now. You know, in the early 40s, it's when they started to notice the obesity becoming an issue. So that was 60, 70 years from now.
Okay. Mimsy's here. Hey, Mimsy.
So just the acceptance, and I want to speak on the acceptance part because just, you know, having access to WIC and them always using this specific chart for growth development for the children.
Okay.
The charts are unique, if I should just say so, because you know it's geared to America's standard to a degree. And like you said, over the last 50 years, obesity is rampant. It is the number one deletion in our country. And it's something that we can control.
You got to a degree. Again, and that's you know, that's who we speaking to, the people who have a consciousness, like I said.
And you know what I would have to point out to them, because you know we're tall. I'll be tall. I'm tall. I'm probably 6'3", 6'4". My brothers are 6 foot tall, and they would always say that, like, try to say that my children were underweight, but didn't consider the 2-inch cap that they had in growth, you know, in height versus the weight part, and it would balance it out. But I would always have to point that out to them, you know, to say they come from, you know, their genetics, that they're tall and we're all thin, you know, so to say they're underweight, like, it was confusing, but I would always check them.
You got a Facebook check in, you see it?
Yep, it says, after having a child, I definitely I can't see it now.
Okay, I got it. After having a child, and definitely once I became an adult, I look back over my years and wish I had appreciated my body and physical abilities in my younger years. Absolutely. Again, this is practice. This is where practice comes in, because what you practice, you get good at. And if you practice sitting on the couch and eating ice cream, that's what you're going to get good at. But if you practice getting up and walking, or walking up the stairs at work instead of taking the elevator, or going to the gym and hitting the cycle, or playing some tennis or handball.
It's all self-reflection. You gotta know. You gotta do it. You gotta do the work. It's not just gonna happen. So me being able to be home, get them kids to work with you. That's one thing I had, and it was awesome. I was already motivated because I ain't gonna front, carrying around 70 pounds more than my body is used to, was very uncomfortable. Knees, ankles, back, all of it, after each child. So from 130 to 204, 206, and 208, I gained a lot of weight. So if you can't imagine, I was 200 pounds and had to lose 70 each time.
Okay.
And it was hard work.
And how did you do that?
I was self-motivated for one, because I didn't want the weight on me. Like I said, knees, ankles. It was a lot to carry around, and I wanted to be able to play with my children in the park and, do all those things. So just going to the park, being active with them, not wasting any time, not being motivated. And I know it was possible. So, just knowing it's not going to happen overnight, like I said, thinking realistically is important for life. Don't think you're going to take a pill and sit on the couch and it's just going to go away. It's not. It's just like your health. You got to be proactive. You can't be reactive. Sitting around waiting till something happens. So, taking care of your health is very important. And I
We need to be aware of it. Nobody wants to shame anybody.
Not at all.
But y'all need to be conscious of it. And because everybody's big in family, the children don't have to be big. It's what we're feeding them. And not making them be active. We got a lot of excuses. As health issues will come up. And just because you're skinny don't mean you're healthy. Nobody is claiming that. But with more weight will come more health issues. And you need to be conscious of it.
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't know why this is happening to me. You gained 50 pounds in a year. Your body is going to respond to that, whether you think so or not. So.
Okay. Let's change the tempo a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do that?
Let's do it.
Let's do this one. Okay. And
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. What y'all think?
Mrs. Harris said we are screwed. But you knew that because you said that.
Yeah. Wow.
They pushed it over. The robot pushed it over onto the
They
ground.
was throwing stuff at it, knocking it over.
Rolled over on his back and still hit the target, though. Still hit the target.
He totally flipped over and still caught it. Wow.
So what do we do to those?
We need, well, shit. We can't do nothing to it, obviously.
Don't tell them what we was talking about. But,
right. Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, what do you do to those to disarm them? If they're firing at you, you can knock them off balance, knock them off compass, knock them off whatever. They still hitting the target.
Right. I don't know if it's anything you can really do.
Shame. Shame on the government for creating. Shame on whoever sat in the think tank creating that. Shame on you, sir, ma'am.
Child.
Goodness gracious.
Think we're gonna be able to fight and survive if everybody is over 200 pounds? It's gonna be kind of hard.
Look at Green Vegan. She said that definitely was a changing topic.
Yeah,
That's how we like to do it.
You saw it.
We gotta shake it up. We take you all the way to the other side.
Wow.
But we coming back though.
That's new.
We going back to shame.
We've been seeing this stuff for years, but you know, just notice, you know, that's reflecting. Like you got to be conscious of the world around you.
In the possible world,
I mean,
the world that's possible to happen to you, even when you sleep.
Yes,
They're
things that are happening under our feet.
They're up. They're not asleep. They're thinking of ways.
I mean, and we're so lost for many of.
Ooh. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's watch a video.
Real quick.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. We're going to get back on topic, though. Green Vegan wants us back on topic. And we agree. Let's get back on topic.
I don't trust any Alexa. They be playing around. Listen, everything's watching. We have so much technology. You're being heard. You're being watched. I mean,
Yeah, Alexa is something else. I'm not going to tell you, Green Vegan, to ask her the population on the moon. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you to ask her the population on Mars. I'm not going to tell you to ask Alexa that. I'm not telling none of y'all to ask Alexa that. Right?
we don't tell people to do anything.
Right. We're not telling anybody to do that. Yeah. Let's take a look at this video though.
Free will.
Shame.
Let me know. Yeah, that's my baby mama. What do you mean? I'm fucking with her.
There you go, talking that shit, okay? There you go, talking your shit. Why your face look like that?
What do you mean?
There ain't no pussy for you. I don't want to fuck with you.
You acting like you didn't know this already,
You
baby.
act like I didn't know this. What are you talking about?
Okay. That was Blueface. In the caption, as y'all see, Blueface casually tells his girlfriend that he's still smashing his baby mama. Let's take one more listen to it, and then we're going to unpack.
Her name was Blueface.
His name is Blueface.
Okay.
See how confusing it all get?
Yeah.
And if she call him bro, it get even more confusing. Don't hit the rabbit hole for that button.
Regardless.
Are you fucking with her or what? Let me know.
Yeah, that's my baby mama. What do you mean? I'm fucking with her.
Like that. There you go,
What's up?
talking that shit, okay? There you go, talking your shit. Why your face look like that?
What do you mean?
There ain't no pussy for you. I don't want to fuck with you.
You acting like you didn't know this already,
You
baby.
act like I didn't know this. What are you talking about?
Make it make sense.
Okay.
Said some dumb shit.
Mrs. Harris, that was Blueface. She said, you still smashing her or what? He said, yeah, it's my baby mama.
Yes. No shame in him. No shame.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so you just got forever access to baby mamas?
That's a good question.
Stuff? That's
what y'all
fellas.
think out there? What y'all think out there, fellas?
Shame. Ladies, I don't know who to blame more. Who to shame more? The women allowing the access just continuously because he's the baby father?
Ooh.
Right? And then to blame him. Like, dude, okay, you didn't want to be in a family with these people, but you want to keep having access to the JJ? I mean, shame both ways. Even if the girl is doing it just to make her jealous, right? Because she's all on his social media and she got one tooth and missing, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how I feel about it. Deal with it or leave.
Is it
He was
always
honest.
that
As soon as
easy
she
to leave?
asked, he said, yeah, like, you know, what you acting like you don't know for.
Very matter of fact.
Matter of factly, absolutely. So, you know, don't be simple. And then to threaten to not give him none. He's getting some from baby mama. It don't matter if you
she said no coochie.
take
for
away
you.
the coochie.
No coochie for you.
That's a punishment. That's going to lead him to go over and get some more. Doesn't even make sense.
Watch out for Alexa.
Yeah, watch out. Don't say too much.
She said no coochie for you.
Shame.
But she just said in the previous sentence, "Are you still smashing her?" He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So it's gonna be some coochie for him. Might not be from
I
you.
mean, it's saying yours ain't enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's saying. Yours is not enough. So I get to still smash. If she gonna let me smash, I'm gonna smash. Yours is not enough. It's not as good as you think it is. All this, like I said, self-proclamation is not it. It's not it, because then you look like a fool or not. I don't know. They seem to praise that behavior of the women.
We back to where we started.
Shame, right? So
ain't that something?
The fuck? Make this shit make sense.
What Karma said?
No box for you.
That's what she said.
That doesn't even make, ladies, does that really make sense to you?
That's what she said.
He's stepping out to get other for JJ. And your punishment to him is to deny him for JJ. Doesn't make sense. If you're going to deny him for JJ, deny him total access and just leave. I'm confused. You still want to be...
Every time you feel ashamed and you repress who you are, think about this scene. This is shame embodied. This is what you're doing to yourself. So stop. Every time you feel ashamed and you repress who you are, think about this scene. This is shame embodied. This is what you're doing to yourself. So stop.
Right. And she gonna stay and deal, but she just gave him a punishment. So that just means, no vagina for you too. I'm ready to give you some. 3 days.
Karma said backwards as fuck.
Really is backwards as fuck. Doesn't even make no sense. And if she's gonna stay, it's like, well, damn, why can't we all just be a family? Why you gotta hide it? At that point, if that's what it is, what are y'all doing? Y'all living these types of lifestyles, but not living it open and honestly. Like, it's happening behind your back. You're gonna be upset with him, deny him vagina, but still stay. And he's still gonna sleep with her.
That's a good point.
Y'all are simple. Don't even make sense.
I thought the
And
men
you're
was
gonna complain if it happens again. Wait a minute. You didn't stand by your boundary set if there were any set. Stop throwing claims to things that's not your husband. How about that, for one? Until that is a thing, I'm sorry. They're single. We're single. I didn't want to look at it like that. We together. Well, we single. Till we marry. You say I love you, but I love me more.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's get into the crust of the conversation today, okay? So shout out to everybody checking in. And I'm gonna play a video and then I'm gonna share a screen. We're gonna talk about this situation right here. Because me personally, I don't know where the blame or shame falls right here. So I need everybody to help me.
And I think it's the tone and the passion. One's voice, the other.
Let's get it.
Your daughter's hair off.
I didn't chop
You're
it
like
off.
doing this weird switcheroo thing.
She said
Some
she
kind of
wanted a haircut.
Illuminati crap.
She said she
I
wanted
don't
a haircut.
want to talk to you right now.
She said, so
I'm
you're blaming
angry.
me?
I don't want to talk.
Hey, why are you so triggered?
I hate lesbians.
She's not a lesbian.
I hate them.
Hair doesn't make a lesbian, John. Sexual orientation
Nikki,
makes a lesbian. Why are you so
You know
triggered?
nothing about anything biblical at all.
Why are you so
Nothing.
triggered?
It pisses me off, and you know it does.
She chose, and she said she wanted a haircut.
Let me cut your hair off right here.
That's not my choice. I don't want short hair.
I'm gonna cut it off.
She said she wanted a
I
haircut.
want to cut it off. You know why? Because when I cut it off, I'm never gonna have sex with you until it's back down here again.
She said she wanted a haircut. Okay,
I hate women with long hair. I hate them.
Why are you sexualizing her?
It's not.
It's sexualizing
No, it's
her.
not.
It's assigning a sexuality to her. When
It is a sexuality to her. She has a fucking vagina, you dimwit.
I'm not interested in being spoken to that way. That's not acceptable.
You're just like the rest of them,
That's not acceptable.
Nikki.
That's
Just
not
like the rest of
acceptable.
them. Are you assigning a sexuality to her? I am.
You are. No, you're.
She's my
you're
daughter.
Sexualizing her.
You piss me off.
You're
sexualizing her. She's 4.
No.
She's not a sexual being. She's a child.
She has a sex.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a female.
Right. But she's
Her
not.
chromosome is female. It's not male.
She's not a reproductive
Nikki,
age.
I don't even want to talk to you right now. I've told you this. You're pissing me off. You're going to make me say something that I don't want to say.
No, you already have. You've said enough.
Go away. I've asked you before you even started.
Yeah, that was a lot to unpack.
It was. That was an interesting conversation having by a couple about their daughter that was 4 years old, and the daughter wanted a particular haircut. And as you guys can hear, dad and mom were going back and forth about this haircut. And what I did was I screenshotted some comments, and I want to unpack based on the clip and the comments. But I wanted y'all to know if y'all heard the comments, heard the clip. I'm sorry, not the comments, but did you hear the clip? Right. And Mrs. Harris, what did you think about the clip?
Oh man, I had to listen a couple of times. And this is where I say, the first step with unions is us understanding the differences in how we think. That father was expressing his desire for his child to be a girl.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna assume that this child has been exposed to more than he would like. And the fact that he's not being included in decisions when it comes to his child.
Okay. Okay.
And that's pretty much what I'm getting from that. The specifics in it, that's a lot to unwrap. It was pretty much women wanting to control everything, including our children.
Okay.
Even anything as simple as a haircut.
Okay. Shout out to Q on the check-in. She checked in a little bit earlier. Hey, Q. She said, hey, all. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you for popping in.
And I thought that it was interesting. I thought it was very interesting. What stood out to me the most, again, I thought it was a very interesting conversation had by a couple about a 4-year-old child and a haircut. Not much of a big deal in my opinion, but at the same time, there's a thing called Pandora's box. And once it's open, it's open. There's no closing it back. So
I don't know if it would have been not a big deal.
Keep going.
Because I take a lot of pride in how I've cared for our children's hair to where they have very long hair, even at 4. So for you to come home from work one day and that child's hair is cut like a boy's haircut, totally off, nice little Caesar, whatever, mohawk, whatever. It's not what you're used to. I don't know if you're going to be that accepting right off top. It's going to be some questions of why did you do that? Did the child have lice? You know what I mean? I don't know if it would be. Absolutely. Now they bigger,
Absolutely.
Whatever the case may be.
But no, yeah, it's definitely going to be some explanation and conversation that goes along with it.
Right.
They weren't at that point just yet because like he said, if you cut it, I'm going to say yes to cutting it because when you cut it, I'm not having sex with you until it's yay long.
He was talking about her.
So now I'm right. This is where, the things that stuck out to me in the conversation. The very first thing that stuck out to me in the conversation is when he said, I don't want to talk about it right now. That was the very first thing he said. He said, get away from me. I don't want to talk about it right now. Then after that, he had a whole lot of insensitive, sensitive, however you want to view it. But none of it ever had to be heard if his word was respected.
Right.
Because he said, I don't want to talk about it right now. Right. Get away from me.
And who knows what the conversation led up to before she pressed that record. Knowing about to set them off. You know how some people do. I mean, some of us want to catch
I get all of that. And,
what I mean?
We don't know that. And that's why you bring that up. But since we don't know that, let's talk about what we do know. Right. Let's talk about him saying, I don't want to talk about it right now. What you got to say about that?
Yeah. He wasn't being respected. Just like he, when it comes to them kids, so things like that. Yeah, absolutely. Father needs to be involved, at least bring it up. Say this is what the child wants. And if he does not approve, like, you have to consider that. I don't think a 4-year-old is okay to be making all these damn decisions. This is what I'm saying. We're giving our kids way too much privilege and entitlement. You don't know who the hell you are at 4. I'm sorry, you don't.
Okay. So what I want to do is let's share this screen.
Simple conversation to your child would be, you know, we're going to talk to daddy.
It's the same conversation, but the comments that were under it are in there.
Maybe at 6.
And I was able to grab those. So let's go ahead and take them away. Let's bring the comments up and see if we can see those.
So the screen is bigger. Take me.
Off. I didn't chop
You're
it
like
off.
doing this weird switcheroo thing.
She said
Some
she
kind of
wanted a haircut.
Illuminati crap.
She said she
I
wanted
don't
a
want to
haircut.
talk to you right now.
She said, so
I'm
you're blaming
angry.
me?
I don't want to talk.
You're so triggered.
I hate lesbians.
She's not. Lesbian. Hair doesn't make a lesbian, John. Sexual orientation makes a lesbian. Why are you so
triggered? You know
triggered?
nothing about anything biblical at all.
Why are you so
nothing.
triggered?
It pisses me off. And you know it does.
She chose, and she said she wanted a haircut.
Let me cut your hair off right here.
That's not my choice. I don't want short hair.
I'm going to cut it off.
She said she wanted a haircut.
I want to cut it off. I want to cut it off. You know why? Because when I cut it off, I'm never going to have sex with you until it's back down here again.
She said she wanted a haircut. Okay,
Like, wait a minute. Y'all stop trying to control every damn thing. My children we had locks in this house, and all my children wanted locks. Each one, they're all 5 years apart, so in different stages they wanted it. And I told them no. 4 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. Said when you're 10, if that's something you decide you want, then we will do it. Because you're not just going to be walking around with a fashion dread. We don't do that. It is a purpose for it. It is culture behind it. It's not just a hairstyle. So there was no lessons taught. Mom's like, oh, the little baby wakes up in the morning for, I want to cut all my hair off. Like I want my hair all cut off and I want it purple. Yeah, we're going to go just cut it and make it purple. Come on. She was wrong. She was wrong. And if it was addressed with dad and dad had an opinion and it wasn't respected, she was wrong. In his eyes, a little girl should have long hair. Okay? And that's his daughter. He don't want his daughter to be out in the street and be pronouns mixed. Oh, he's so cute. He don't want that. And he has a right. Can't control everything. 4-year-old does not have a right to say how they want their hair. They can say, oh, I want a ponytail up or I want a ponytail down or I want 2 ponytails. Can you curl it? But cutting it off, changing color and all of that? No. Wow.
Carmen checked in. She said she was dead wrong. Let's bring them back up.
Some may not agree with me, but whatever.
I didn't chop
You're
it
like
off.
doing this weird switcheroo thing.
She said
Some
she
kind of
wanted a haircut.
Stuff Illuminati crap.
She said she
I
wanted
don't
a
want to
haircut.
talk to you right now.
She said, so you're
I don't want to talk to you right now.
So if she says she want a boyfriend at 4, because they say that. We're going to go out and get her a boyfriend? Because they say it. They see us with each other. They know what it is, right? To a degree. They don't know the intricates, but they know.
What if she want me to be her boyfriend? I'm 48.
Y'all play too much.
What's popping?
Shame. You are not the only parent, ladies. I'm sorry. They come out your vagina, but you wouldn't have it without the father. Stop acting like you control the whole dynamics of the children. It's horrible. And if you pick the bad one and he's such a bad one, it's your fault. You allowed access. You allowed that seed to come to birth. My body, my choice. You picked it. You picked it. You picked it. You picked it.
Wow. Let's go back to the video. I just heard him say, I don't want to talk to you.
Own your shit, right?
So everything that comes out after this, you shouldn't have even heard because I didn't want to say it. But let's continue.
blaming
Angry,
me.
I don't want to talk.
Hey, why are you so triggered?
I hate lesbians.
She's not a lesbian.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Wait, did the baby just scream something? So the baby's actually listening to this conversation. It's going on while the baby's around.
She's calm though.
And he said he don't want to
yelling.
talk, but she continues to press the envelope.
Press it.
But let's continue.
PSA, when you hear I don't want to talk right now, let it go. Wait.
Hair doesn't make a lesbian, John. Sexual orientation
Nikki,
makes a lesbian. Why are you so
You know
triggered?
nothing about anything biblical at all.
Why are you so
Nothing.
triggered?
It pisses me off, and you know it does.
She chose, and she said she wanted a haircut.
Let
She's
me
old
cut
enough
your
to
hair
know
off
what it
right
is.
here.
That's not my choice. I don't want short hair.
I'm gonna cut it off.
She said she wanted a
I
haircut.
want to cut it off. You know why? Because when I cut it off, I'm never gonna have sex with you until it's back down here again.
Now that was weird for me.
I mean, I think that conversation got distorted.
That's
and
when it went.
This is what we don't know what happened before. Like I said, it doesn't sound like this is just a.
Carmen checked in. See, and that's the problem. She shouldn't be around for that discussion. You are absolutely right. That should be a discussion they have out where it could be a little more of a calm demeanor, even in a public place where we can be a little politically correct just because of the atmosphere.
I mean, she was getting praised for her calm. She was calm. You know, it wasn't like they was. You know, he sounded very passionate.
Yeah, you know why?
And
Because he
upset
didn't
because
want to
it may have-
talk. 'Cause
Absolutely.
he didn't want to talk.
Absolutely. That's a great point. When somebody's expressed this, maybe we should discuss this at a later time. Respect it. Again, with the control. You want to talk about it now, so it has to be discussed now.
That's typically how
It's,
it happens.
it's not okay. It's not okay. Can't control everything.
Let's get back to the video. Let's see what happens.
She said she wanted a haircut. Okay, she's.
I hate women with long
Why are
hair.
you
I hate them.
Why are you sexualizing her?
It's not.
It's sexualizing
No, it's
her.
not.
It's assigning a sexuality to her. When
It
she's
is a
born.
sexuality to her. She has a fucking vagina, you dimwit.
Okay.
So are we really doing that now? I mean, are we really choosing to not assign our children a sexuality with them being born in a certain with genitalia. I mean, are we really not doing that? I know some cultures wait to give a child a name.
Okay.
But you're born with certain parts. That's who you are. Female or male. I mean, there's 1 in 1,000 children born intersex, and that's where the confusion should lie.
And I mean, is that more shame? I mean, since the topic is shame, inside the conversation, I heard a lot of shame she tried to use. First, she said, "Why are you so triggered?" He said, "I don't want to talk about it." And the first thing she said in rebuttal to that is, "Why are you so triggered?" Right.
I'm triggered because
I'm triggered, why do you want to antagonize me on one of my triggers and keep the conversation going? And you're supposed to be my significant other. And now she's saying, you know, sex, her sexuality, haircut isn't a sexuality, Jimmy. So she's continuously antagonizing him and attacking him just over his belief, how he feels about a certain subject. And the comments being swayed, they were, if you go down and look, it's a lot of insensitivity just because he was passionate in his speech.
Right.
He sounded a little, you know, aggressive in his tone.
Phobic. What people would say phobic, and it's shameful. It's shameful. His daughter's a girl and he wants her to be presented as a girl. When she becomes an adult, if she decides she's something else, then that's on her. But right now, we're not going to promote that. Okay. Our children say they're cats. Like, it was a woman who actually went in and the school got in trouble because this child wanted to be considered a cat and to have a bowl of milk and such nonsense. And we go along with it. No, shame on us. No.
Okay. No. Let's keep going.
I'm not interested in being spoken to that way. That's not acceptable.
You're just like the rest of them,
acceptable. That's
just
not
like the rest of
acceptable.
them.
You know what's funny is that he said he don't want to talk. She continues to antagonize him to talk, and then he say something and she say, "I don't deserve to be talked to that way.
Yeah.
You should not talk to me that way." When I didn't even want to talk in the first place. I said we should pick this up another time.
And all the comments is taking her side because, you know, girl, you were so cool and so calm.
It was a lot of,
because she was antagonizing him with that cool and calm.
You handled that very well.
That's why it just doesn't feel like it was just a one-time conversation. She must, you know, exhibit some lesbian tendencies, friends in the realm, because like you said, he hated is, you know, and this is his woman. Like, so you know how this, you know how this man feel. And he has a right to feel how he feels.
Y'all hear this conversation going on?
I hate that people, you know, I'm proud to be a heterosexual. That does not mean I hate you.
Because this is going somewhere. So check in. I want to know what y'all think about this conversation. Who's what?
It just went, wait.
Is he wilding with this
haircut? Right.
With this passion over a haircut, something as simple as a haircut? Is she overstepping her boundaries by having a conversation that he doesn't even want to have at the time? We could be way off. Let us know. Chime in.
I like that.
She was dead wrong, Carmen said. That's the problem. She'd be around. Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be around for that conversation.
Got that one. But let's see where this goes.
It's not me.
She's not a reproductive age.
Nikki, I don't even want to talk to you right now. I told you this. You're pissing me off. You're going to make me say something that I don't want to say.
No, you already have. You've said enough. You've said enough.
Go away. I've asked you before you even started.
Go away, Nikki. I asked you before you even started, Nikki.
Gotta have my name.
Nikki.
It's always a Nikki behind it. Shit.
She told him he said enough. I didn't want to say anything.
Right.
Again, this is so horrible. People don't see it from the total logical, respectable lens that it is, because everyone deserves respect is what I was told.
Yeah.
But when you say everyone deserves respect, you open in Pandora's box. Everybody Do everybody mean everybody?
I think they just say that. I don't think they mean it.
The name calling, he did. He called her a
dimwit. He probably wanted to call her some other stuff too.
He said she was a girl because her comment before that statement was you're attacking her sexuality. And he's like, yeah, she's a girl. She has a vajayjay. So automatically sexuality has been assigned to her. Now you're telling me I automatically need to negate that? Start out from a blank slate? And then we start to figure out what sex we're gonna ascribe to this young individual based on what they tell us,
right?
Or what we think, or a combination of both. Or do we wait till they're big enough to tell us what they think their sexuality is, and then we go with that?
Right. See, now that's the difference. A 4-year-old doesn't understand that at all. Gender identity is something different. We're assigned a gender. From birth. That's what cis is. You know, you're born this gender.
That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. He don't want her to go against that. Right. Stop trying to go against that. Let my daughter be a daughter. And if later signs exhibit, you know, whatever, it's things that we have to pay attention to that's going to show in the balance of the disbalance of the hormones. You know what I mean? That may, whatever the case may be. But at 4, we have control.
Okay.
So she wake up and say, bung, I want to do this and that. Everything else just okay. It's not just as simple as a haircut. I
get it.
When you say that's just simple, it's not.
Okay. And I'm gonna show you why it's not simple too. If y'all still here, let's go ahead and let me get my trigger warning for this.
I was mad when mine was freaking 20 and wanted to cut it off. I did 20 years of investing in that. Like, you know how many black girls would love to have hair that long, that luscious, you know, to where they think it's a weave and a frontal and it's yours, and then you go chop it off. Like, yeah, it's kind of a smack and a blow to a degree. It took a lot to take care of that.
And then what if they put a wig on
and then throw a wig on top of it? I mean, you know, this is what we do.
Wrong for that, baby.
But I'm supposed to just be okay, right? Because you grown, you could do what you want, but you waited till you was grown. So what can I say?
Okay, I get that. But look, what I said about Pandora's box, when it's open, it's open. And do everybody mean everybody? Trigger warning. Stay tuned.
So look out, evildoers, because the Fair Use Friends are ready for action.
The Fair Use Friends are facing multiple copyright infringement lawsuits and are technically not ready for action.
I thought we had this taken care of.
My name is Miranda. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania. And today I want to talk about minor attracted persons. And I want to talk about minor attracted persons because they are probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture. And most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them. And those assumptions create harm for an already marginalized population. You may have noticed that I'm using the term minor attracted persons, sometimes abbreviated to MAPS, instead of the more commonly used term pedophile. And I'm doing this because the term pedophile has moved from being a diagnostic label to being a judgmental, hurtful insult that we hurl at people.
Y'all saw that bullshit?
Shame. Shame.
Trying to sugarcoat shit. Oh, she means philesters? People attracted to children?
You heard how she tried to pretty it up?
She prettied it up.
So again, y'all see what I mean when I say everybody mean everybody? When we start talking about sexuality,
right,
and let them rock, and it's not a big deal. Now we get minor attracted persons.
Mm-hmm.
She made that sound pretty.
I mean, our children have been overly sexualized just as much as women. They all prettied up and dolled up, making look all sexy with the pouty lips and the little dresses and all of that. Commercials, yeah. Can't go buy no clothes for little girls nowadays. It's all hoochie mama.
Sis says she thinks all pedophiles should be castrated.
And rapists.
That will never be okay. It won't? Did you just hear how she worded it?
They're that's the thing, sis. They're trying to make it okay, have a name for it to where it's not shamed, because most people who have an attraction for children, well, I don't want to say most, but a small percentage of people who have attraction for children, it's just that. It's just an attraction.
You said a small percentage,
small,
like
right.
Like
That's
you
what they
did the
say,
research,
right?
But you haven't did the research. So here's the thing about sexuality. You can't close Pandora's box. So again, let's keep it real simple. She's just shaking my head. Every day I look for the fire and brimstone. Karma said, right? These are the last days. They've been saying that since I've been going to church. And I was going to church when I was 5 years old, Karma. Right. I hate to break it to you. These ain't the last days. Right.
Still some
more.
Might
be the last days for the people of this time. But even if they throw a nuclear bomb and they kill most of us, it's going to be a lot of them in a think tank somewhere where they can survive. And people are always going to continue. And the world is always going to continue. It'll actually start to replenish itself when we all leave. So the world that may be coming to an end, but the world will never come to an end. As long as there's trees and the moon and the stars and the sun and all that good shit, it's always going to be here. But here's the thing, sexuality. Why do you tip in Applebee's, but you don't tip in McDonald's? They all serve you food. And that's exactly the same thing with this Pandora's box. You cannot tell somebody that attraction is just more than just boys and girls. You have boys that like boys. You have girls that like girls. You have boys that think they're girls and then like boys that think that they're girls. And you have girls that think that they're boys at some time and girls in there. But we got to stop right there. That's where the line stops. No, it doesn't. You got people who like animals. You got people who like little people.
And people who like things.
You got people who like cucumbers, exhaust pipes,
cars,
ATM machines,
pools.
Sexuality. And Pandora's box is open. So when you hear somebody want to run up in a little kid, you think they don't go to Bangkok and run up in little kids? You don't think they go to Epstein Island?
If there was an island.
And run up in little kids? They do it.
Shame.
They do the nasty.
Shame. And the people behind the scenes who know, y'all know what's going on.
But since we accepting everybody, we inclusive. Don't make them feel bad. You phobic. Oh, so you're pedophile phobic.
So the whole country is skinny phobic.
Let's bring her back. I'm bringing her back.
Folks, my name is Miranda. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania. And today I want to talk about minor attracted persons. And I want to talk about minor attracted persons because they are probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture. And most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them. And those assumptions create harm for.
See how it starts? See the recipe?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are creating rhetoric that is harmful. Now now it's harmful.
Right. Now they get a little empathy.
And they're already a marginalized people. Wait a minute, sympathy? She just created an air for sympathy. Let's see where she going with this, because it's an acronym coming, and once they get an acronym,
or an already marginalized population. You may have noticed that I'm using the term minor attracted persons, sometimes abbreviated to MAPS, instead of the more commonly used term
MAPS. She said MAPS.
MAPS.
They got a damn acronym.
pedophile. And I'm doing this because the term pedophile has moved from being a diagnostic label to being a judgmental, hurtful insult that we hurl at people.
Her pronouns is she, her.
She says she uses she, her pronouns.
That does not mean
so
she
that's
was born
exactly
cis.
yeah, but that's what it
Right.
means. It
Right.
means this is what you address me as. So
Okay.
she's a woman. She, her, her, she.
Mhm.
But this is where we are. We have to ask. We have to conversate.
Right.
We have to confer
Right.
with each other. You agree? I concur.
Because I mean,
Instead of
it's
she,
people
her,
who present
concur.
themselves as women, but don't consider their pronouns to be she, her. So y'all are confusing the shit out of us. That's all. Might want to wear a label on your forehead.
Oh, no. But stop the confusion at boy and girl and homosexual and heterosexual. Don't keep the confusion going further down the rabbit hole, because I'm not confused. I know people like to bone pigs. I've been upstate.
Yeah.
I've been in the Midwest.
I know it exists.
I've been in West Virginia. I know it's people that's married to their brother and their sister, and it's absolutely legal there.
Yeah.
The tow truck driver told me, he said, this type of town where you marry your sister. I said, well, I can't wait to leave.
No joke.
And again, because we live on our corners and our streets,
Right.
we think these corners and streets don't exist. They just not called corners and streets. They called roads,
Back
highways,
Yep.
byways,
Mhm.
bayous,
Yep.
down unders.
Up the road. Down the road.
So, I get what y'all saying.
Bureau.
Shame on them and all of that. But if I'm looking at it through the lens y'all tell me to look at it through, what you think, Mrs. Harris?
I mean, shame on you, especially if I can't have pride in heterosexuality. That's where it's getting to me. That I'm prideful of it, and I should be shamed. Like, I shouldn't be okay with that. And this is where I'm not comfortable. Give y'all all the inclusion you want, but don't fucking make me seem like something's wrong with me because I choose and I am heterosexual. Like, it's crazy to me. It's amazing. And skinny.
Oh,
I've been shamed for being skinny, and nobody thinks twice about it. Will point it out. Ask why. Tell me they want to feed me, and all of that. My whole life,
right?
I've never been ashamed of it, so it never, made me feel bad or go in a room and cry because somebody pointed out that I was skinny or thin. Nah, not that. But I've absolutely given back the medicine, especially from family. So if I've had to check your fat ass because you said something about me being skinny, I don't feel bad about it. So, you deliver it, I'm going to deliver it back, especially the family.
Okay. All right.
So kudos to you.
Let's keep going. Let's cool off a little bit. Woosah. Let's woosah.
Shame.
Take a deep breath, Mrs. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's lighten up a little bit, but not too much. We're gonna stay with the theme, but we're gonna lighten up a little bit.
So look out, evildoers, because the Fair Use Friends are ready for action.
The Fair Use Friends are facing multiple copyright infringement lawsuits and are technically not ready for action.
I thought we had this taken care of.
Counsel, with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, what is happening now is you are limiting what I can do with my vagina. First of all, you dictated where I could take a number 2. You tried to tell me that, I couldn't go to a woman's restroom. But now you have Governor Abbott saying that I can have an abortion. I can have an abortion. You have to take your hands off my vagina right now. You do not own my uterus. The uterus is mine. It is a clump of cells in there. We need to take that clump of cells and destroy it. Like this paper. Just take the clump because it has no life. It has no meaning. That's what is inside my body. But Governor Abbott is trying to get inside here and trying to dictate what you're doing with my body. You don't
That was a goddamn shame. The audacity of this man to speak for us women. That was insane. He went on a rant. Y'all okay with that? Ladies? And he had on a damn dashiki. That was disrespectful. He was straight disrespectful. And that was in a real court of law type situation. Ladies, this is who we got representing us for real, for real. Like, this is where we at. That was shameful. Whoever that man is, whoever his family is, y'all. Even if he's consider himself to be a trans woman. Come on, man. You still ain't got no goddamn uterus. You should not be up there speaking on a rant like that for us. I don't approve of that message at all. All them women sitting in there. Nobody could pull his ass and chew.
He was passionate.
Nobody could say nothing. Hold him accountable.
He was passionate.
Take his white ass, sit down somewhere. Go talk about your prostate.
He had on the dashiki too.
Wow.
Okay.
Shame.
Okay. It's a great little break.
I mean, I'm hearing the men are teaching us how to be women. That's what one of the, gay guys said, right? Y'all better get it together.
Saucy Santana.
Mm-hmm.
He said that. But let's go ahead and get to something nice and meaty. This isn't shameful, but it's definitely something that sparks a conversation. So let us know what y'all think.
Check this out. I'll be right back.
CJ, I don't know. We really need to talk about this. You really don't want to get married.
Baby, I've done it. It doesn't work for me.
But what about me? I want to marry you. I want to be your wife. I want to share your last name. I want our kids to have the same last name as us.
What I'm saying is I don't believe in that process no more. That my divorce was the worst thing I've ever been through. What if I give you the biggest wedding you can ask for? Whatever you want. We can have a honeymoon. We'll do the reception. You can pretty much do whatever you want. I'll get you a wedding ring. We'll go through the whole process. The only thing I'm asking is that we don't sign the marriage certificate. I get what I want because I don't have to have the government involved in my life anymore. You get what you want because you get to be married, if not officially married, but you get everything that comes with marriage. I'll give you whatever you want, whatever carat ring you want. Baby, you know I got it. And on top of that, we can go downtown and we can actually change your last name. You can officially change your last name at any point. You don't need to be married to do that.
But I will know that it's not real. That all of that, it was just a show. But what if something happens to you health-wise? You know, they always ask for the wife or close kin, and I won't be able to do anything like that because legally they're going to see that we are not married.
We can sign paperwork, power of attorney paperwork, beneficiary paperwork, whatever paperwork we need outside of the marriage certificate to give you all the rights. You have to remember, when the gay community started coming together and started creating these partnerships, they created all type of paperwork for that type of union. So we can use that same paperwork to make us tight. This process I am offering to you, we both get what we want. We both get what we want.
Don't. I don't care about just the wedding. I care about our union, our covenant under God, and we're not doing that.
What I am saying is, I don't want to get married officially. You want to get married. I am offering a solution. And I'm saying if we don't do this, something's going to have to give. And either we stay in this together and work this out, or we don't. But this is what I'm offering to you. And I just need you to think about it. That's it. So ladies, what would you do in this situation? He's giving you the wedding. He's giving you everything you want. Would you consider taking this option? There's actually a name for this. It's called the commitment ceremony. A lot of people do it all over America. It's something that people use when they can't legally get married. You go through everything like you would with a wedding, but there is no paperwork. Fellas, I want to know how you feel about that. Would you be open to something like a commitment ceremony?
Oh man, it just sounds like it's just no pleasing us. It's just no pleasing us. I mean, he gave a whole alternative expressed it is not something he wants to do. Get married again. Would you do it, ladies? What you think of that? Fellas, is that something you would propose?
I mean, if I wasn't a fan of paperwork marriage and traditional Western marriage, it's absolutely all of the alternative solutions to take the same necessary precautions could be done logically.
Right.
So from a logical standpoint, absolutely. Absolutely. But from, just a devil's advocate or a neutral standpoint, everything, we cannot keep using these words. Everybody and everything means just that. So when we say everybody needs to be considered, that means everybody, y'all. I hate to break it to y'all, even the ones that want to bone little kids. And when we say everything, that's what that means. And when he say, I'm giving you everything you want, he's not, because she wants to be married on paper. Right. That's the one thing he's not giving her, and that's a part of everything.
Okay. It's giving her the illusion of it all.
She's not getting what she wants.
She
wants to be married.
Of course not. I mean, and there you go. You either deal with it or move on.
And if I was a girl, I'm not marrying him just because he wouldn't change that smoke detector. If you sitting there and you can hear that, and you don't want to change that, I think we need to talk anyway.
How do they not hear it in the recording? That's my thing. Like, because I hear it instantly going into somebody else's house. Like, this is not,
Carmen said, man, I would.
Yeah. I mean, and I would have had that mentality, marriage was not something that was pushed or, taught in a positive manner. If not for my husband wanting to make me an honest woman, we'd probably just still be together, and not have that legal documentation. But that was something he felt necessary and needed. I'd stay with him for the rest of my life just because I'm a spiritual lover, a spiritual connection. Like I'm connected to you forever. Even if it doesn't work out between us, I'm always going to have this connection to you, but realistically and logically, no. We gotta get married. We gotta put this on paper. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, Mr. He said, for that. Because like I said, when you're taught that it's not something to look forward to, that, men are bad and all men are the same. And, with this type of mentality, this doesn't mean that I didn't want to live the life as a wife, but I didn't care about that paper. I did not. We absolutely lived the married life from the time we met, before the kids came along, to when the kids after, before we got married, but we just didn't have the paperwork. He was absolutely have the cow and the milk and the eggs and chickens and everything at home.
She gave me the eggs and the chickens.
So we want to kind of, because who's to say it, it was going to work out in the long run. Thank God for us it did. But for a lot of you young folk, it's something you should vet early. It's something that should be conscious, and you should reflect on the type of life that you want. And when you get with that person, they have a life that they want too. Ladies, you can't control everything.
I think we said that a lot tonight.
I have, because it's a common thing. It's real. I did it. I'm guilty. I'm absolutely guilty. That's why I'm definitely not sitting up here trying to front like I'm perfect and didn't go through the challenges of growth, the hard medicine being told to me, holding myself accountable. Like, it was hard, but it's absolutely doable. So, don't get so offensive when somebody has a reflection of you in a certain way and perceives you and they point it out, especially if it's for you to be better and do better. Our kids got to come up together. We're going to be old one day, older to where we can't fend for ourselves and take care of ourselves. So trying to secure our futures with you cantankerous ass people out here. Crazy. All right.
We don't got a lot to go. Let's go ahead and give them a commercial before we roll out.
Okay, sis. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's tie it up. Destructive ass women.
We got one coming.
Oh, we got
Women
one
might like
coming.
this one.
Okay, we got something for you before we roll out.
Y'all, the men out here crying again. They lonely, they sad. They've been gaslighting us on social media, talking about you gonna grow old alone when it's really their own fear. Because we all know, any of us in healthcare, please drop it in the comments and verify. The men in hospitals, don't nobody come and see them. Men in nursing homes, nobody come and see them. These are the men that grow old alone. Women have their family, their friends, their girlfriends, sorority, church family. Everything. We are thriving when we are single, because who wants to be in a relationship when the relationship is a burden? If you married and got 2 kids, now you got 3. It's many women that have been divorced with children that tell you it's easier for them to do it themselves than to have someone running interference with what they're trying to do. And child-free women, honey, we are here living our life and we are thriving. Being single is a blessing. You feel yourself, you get to enjoy yourself. Being with a person who is emotionally unavailable is detrimental to your health. Point blank, period.
She said, you feel yourself. I want somebody else to feel me. I don't know what y'all talking about. She said more than that, bro. I just had to. She said that like it was loose, like literally. Shit. So they say the men's is out here single. Now, when a man says he's single by choice, I can believe that. That I can believe. I'll believe that over a woman saying it.
So he don't want to roll over on a cold winter's night and land on top of no cushy, huh? He's fine.
He do, but he's selective and he's being picky.
Okay.
And I think that's why they're single.
Okay.
Y'all want a lot and y'all want to control everything, especially when the man is already, he got his shit together. He already good. You're an added bonus that he would like to have some children with.
She said it's an article, though. That's the article she read.
Anybody, I could write an article.
But see, here's the thing.
Shit.
I've been seeing single men since I've been coming outside on the side of the road.
Absolutely.
Will work for food.
Right, it's always
out of work, veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And they appear to be single. So
Right.
this has been, single men have been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to point out that they're the ones in nursing homes and not having visitors, doesn't that sound like more shame?
More shame. Yeah. Because that's just her anecdotal, because I've worked in the healthcare field too, and
Right.
it's an abundance of women in the nursing homes and it's few men, and ain't nobody coming to see them either. So, like I said, I can write an article.
You could.
We can all write an article.
You could.
It's just getting it published.
Sis, I want to roll over and land on top of something, okay?
Right? You know what I mean? Not another pillow, another cold ass pillow. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, it's an article.
I mean,
She found it.
I don't like it because it's encouraging women to, not vet for the future if that's something they desire. It's like, you don't have to desire it now. It's something that you can have later. It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But possibility and probability are two different things, right? It's something that we discuss a lot.
Right. Carmen checked in. She said, man,
Lessens
I think
your
about
chances.
it when I'm down and bad or sick or old. I'm not trying to be alone. Laugh out loud. I need a man now. She tripping. Call it what you want. No, absolutely. But what she's saying is, again, she found an article. How coincidental it's come at the same time with men saying they getting their passports, they flying out the country,
Absolutely.
they using other options. They're not dealing with women of a certain attitude and demeanor. And what a coincidence. She found this article that says men are lonely. I want to give y'all a news flash. Men are lonely too. But we know everybody's lonely. That's the reason why we're here, because we say we're better together. Because no matter how many people get married, there's always going to be some people that are single. And we're not saying that they shouldn't be. We're just saying that if you're on the fence and you're looking for a side to land and you need some information to help you decide, hopefully we can get you to land on this side of wanting to be married to someone.
Right.
So that you can have a lawyer in life. This is the lawyer of life. Everybody in court needs a lawyer. to speak for you, that has your best interests at heart, not just speaking for you just to go through the motions, but actually
we've been taught we're strong enough to speak for ourselves and stand up for ourselves. And
you are,
you know,
until
to
you
a
go
degree.
to court.
Absolutely.
And you need
I mean, so you need
mouthpiece.
some fucking logic.
And I think
and
that
some
that
reality.
significant other is that person. They organically care for you. They're going to ask follow-up questions and want to know specific reasoning to why decisions are being made in regards to you. And if you don't have that, you don't have that.
Right. And I love to speak on the differences on how we think. And it's not to shame women, you know, that we're not logical thinkers at all. But we're not as logical as they are. Sorry, we don't think as realistically and way to the future as they do. Might be 1%, but the majority of us, no. But don't apply, let it fly. If you're the smartest, most logical woman out there, then kudos to you. But goddamn it, I needed the men in my life. I would be in fairy tale land right now thinking I'm fucking Cinderella waiting for 12 o'clock for me to change back. It's real. And I occasionally get delusional sometimes. And I have to be told the reality of things and realistically have things put it in, you know, alignment for me to help me see it a little differently.
Yes.
It's real. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel bad or stupid. I know how smart I am. Graduated cum laude on my own without having somebody write papers for me. So, you know, I know I'm pretty bright. But I absolutely don't think like my husband does. And he does not think or feel how I do. And that mutual respect and understanding is going to take us very far.
You got check-ins.
Got some.
Sis says, save yourself, black man.
Save yourself, black man.
Carmen said they be fronting. Men need us just as much. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think they're a little more honest. I think they're a little more open and honest, but we don't listen well. They tell us what they want. We don't listen well. So when they say, I want this, we'll be like, oh, no, that's not. Wait, what the are you kidding me? You just told me I'm not being heard. You want to correct what I said I need. It's amazing. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Red Lipstick Vibe checked in. She said, right, because you mess up and lose when you represent yourself in court. They say the person who has himself for a lawyer has a fool for a client. Yeah. Logic, reality, yes. They work.
You know, it's
emotionally
Pisces,
damaged. Them chickadees, baby. Right, sis. Me too. Yeah, rainbow, glitter, shiny stuff.
So creative.
Yes, pretty things. Yes.
Wise in many ways, but some ways I need some damn help.
Those type of women make me itch.
With the hives. Just let it go. I really just want to end it with ladies. You can't control everything. You really can't. And you shouldn't try to. It's too much work. It's hard.
Okay. We don't got much. I think we got one more. Let's see what I got for you, Mrs. Harris.
I think we might be done.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
No. We're not done.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
I'm tired of going to fucking work. Like, every time I turn around, gotta go to work. Go to sleep, work, get off work, go to work. Like, damn, the fuck? Eat, work, fuck, shower, work. Like, everything I do after I gotta go to work. That shit irritating as fuck. I need to be rich already. Like, fuck, money don't grow on trees clearly because I can't go take that shit off. Shit irritating.
Oh, have you all felt like that before?
Shout out to her.
She sounded very upset.
She was a little perturbed.
Very perturbed. You know, so imagine that mindset. I gotta go to work, gotta do this work. And then you gotta come home and love up on somebody or some children or take care of a home. You're fucking exhausted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Carmen checked in. She said, yeah, I had to give up that control aspect up. It's hard, but we're happier.
Yeah. It's hard as hell.
It is.
And us Pisces, we like to control some shit now.
I'm trying to find out what's going on with those lashes.
Yeah. Lashes got her tired.
Yeah. That's why you got to do something you love. Get money. You got to get money.
Let me just say, shame on that young girl with her attitude. Shame that she doesn't realize the reality of you have to work to take care of yourself. Our elders would never let us behave like that. They would tell us to go get 2 goddamn jobs. It ain't enough. You go get 2 jobs.
Right.
And you ain't got no kids in tow. You shouldn't be broke. And you shouldn't be complaining.
Right.
Our grandparents was having, by the time they was 20, they had about 4, 5 kids. Times was different, absolutely. But y'all, come on.
Yeah.
Got to go to work. You got to pay your bills. People are not always going to take care of you. But guess what? It's a little easier when you got a partner. You got a husband or wife to assist with that. Still going to be some struggles, but it's definitely a little easier when you got that support system. You got that backup.
Absolutely.
That rib.
I just hear everything she said, and after she said she got to go to work, but I heard it different. I just heard it as all of the things you just mentioned require to be paid for. So how else you think you gonna get the money for them? Because if you got to take a shower, you want to take it in a house. I hope.
Got to pay for that water.
And you might want to take it in a nice shower with some towel and maybe some grout and some sealer and maybe over the head shower. Who knows? But these things require money and work in order to do it. I got to get up, work. I got to eat, work. Yeah, because food costs money. Go to sleep, work. You plan on sleeping in a bed?
Of course, just to sit on the couch and chill and watch TV. It costs.
This
electricity,
is life. And again,
rent,
is it just us as men that this is how life is put to us? Things cost. Now, depending on what kind of a quality of man you want to be, depends on what you're going to have. You want to be a gentleman, and you're going to need a nice couch. You cannot have 2 crates under a mattress and then call yourself a gentleman.
Right.
But I wasn't a gentleman then. I was straight thugging, or however I worded or associated myself at the time.
Right.
But again, we know as men that when you start to move to these upper echelons, certain things come with this. You can't say you're a quality gentleman and you don't have a credit card, in your own car, in your own place, and health insurance, and a dentist, and a lawyer. It's some well-roundedness that comes with these titles. So, when I hear her complaining about being an adult, when you quick to say, I'm an adult, I was at the adult meeting. You ain't see me there. I got my card. See?
Sure do.
But you just want to be an adult when it's time to drink and it's time to party.
Yep.
You don't want to be an adult when it's time to pay his bills and be responsible.
Yep.
Now I want to be a kid again.
And be held accountable for your adult-like, foolish-ass behavior.
So,
I mean,
like Karma said, adulthood, sweetie. Welcome to adulthood.
You want to rush to get there. We all rush to get there, and we get here. We don't like it so much. That's why we told you, enjoy being a goddamn kid. Enjoy it. Don't rush through it, because you cannot go back. Now you're going to be held accountable, and the medicine is not going to always taste good.
It says she's scheming on a master plan. She said, yeah, me and Caleb going outside for a couple of hours on North Avenue, baby, in 83. Laugh out loud. That's where the big bucks at. Get your sign ready.
Okay.
Call
That's where the big bucks.
Them big North Avenue bucks. But
Wow.
yeah, man, it's something to see that, shame and lack thereof nowadays is just.
Mm-hmm. You're an adult. You got to take care of yourself. When I look at my generation, 45, a lot of us were on our own at 16. So it was before 18. A lot of us was out of our house just because our homes was dysfunctional and uncomfortable. And who wants to be there? So we made other arrangements, resources, whatever, whether we was out on the street or welcomed in somebody else's house. Like, sometimes you have to do what you got to do. But still being held accountable in those places, people who were upstanding, welcomed. So you had a lot of positive, wanting to move that way and knowing that you're responsible for self. You are responsible for yourself. So, put your big girl panties on, clock in, do the work.
No doubt. This is the last one. We want to thank everybody that came through.
Yes. Y'all are so appreciated.
Absolutely. So let's
Sunday. We might not be here next Sunday because we're going to be a little vacay, going out of town and such. So we might just put that notification bell on because we might just pop in on a live anywhere we are.
That is true.
Talking smack. So join us.
So let's go ahead and get this
go with
last
this.
video.
What? Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say
Say
what?
what?
Say what?
Okay. So that was a post. I'm going to bring it back. We're going to start it from the beginning. We're going to unpack. But y'all heard all of the bonus points that was given out, all of the Mario Brothers music that was being played, because it was a lot of bloop, 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 bloop. A lot of bonus points given out. So the caption reads, Black Twitter reacts to the husband's caption of his wife wedding pic and his wife on Instagram. The pic says, no pressure.
They met on Hinge.
Mm-hmm. No pressure. Listen to me, y'all. No pressure on any fancy dates or to expensive restaurants. Just good old conversation and alignment with our goals. So the comments come in after that.
Say what?
They
Say
say,
what?
God forbid a man post me online and tell the world he got me at a discount.
Oh my.
What?
Say
What?
Why would he purposely do the bare minimum? Why would he want to not do his best? Why would she accept it? Why?
Say
But why wouldn't he want to take her on fancy dates? Fancy dates aren't a bad thing. They are lazy and cheap and don't want to spend money on women. They want the most they can get for the least amount of money and effort.
Shame on y'all. Shame on your mamas. The mindset is crazy.
So the caption was,
your worth, there's a dollar value on your worth. This is what I'm hearing these women say.
Right.
Because this is straight Fordism syndrome. Right? Because you're putting a monetary value on you. I've never been on no fancy dates before I got married. We didn't do all that.
Right.
A walk in the park, a walk down Fulton Street, stop and get a couple of scarves. Like, y'all are crazy. This is why y'all are ending up alone. Y'all don't know what to look for good character in a man. Y'all want to be took on fancy dates. Somebody got to spend $250 on y'all and you still ain't giving up no for JJ. Make it make sense.
Flued out.
What do you have to offer?
Flued out. No nookie for you.
She had a lot to offer that man. He didn't have to take her on a whole bunch of dates. Conversation. Knowing that he's going to be supported and appreciated and respected and loved.
304 baby.
And nurtured. That's what got her to be wife.
Buy a dog and die alone.
Wow, that's right. Buy a damn dog and die alone. I mean, and that's what's going to happen. But they're going to have 4 or 5 babies in tow. And I think a lot of women do that. They invest all this energy into these children and expect them to be the ones that's going to take care of them in their old years. Yeah, no, they're going to find wives and husbands too, or life or drugs or deletion. There's no guarantee. There is no guarantee our children are going to be there to care for us. Just like those old people you see in them damn nursing homes. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee they're all going to live longer than us. So you're betting on shit that you are really not realistically thinking out. Your son is your son till you take a wife. So this son-husband shit should stop. And if you think you should be in front of his wife, something's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Once he takes his wife, you're his mother. You need to stay in your place. We are delusional with how we are moving. We gotta do better.
I just want to understand, his original caption was, no fancy restaurants, yada, yada. Just, good old conversation and focusing on our achievements. And somebody said, how dare he say he got her at a discount? So that's getting you at a discount is having meaningful conversation and seeing eye to eye about family before we become an actual family is getting you at a discount.
I mean, that's the delusion. That is absolutely delusion. Like I said, we don't want to be looked at as money objects in a monetary exchange, but that's what you just said, pretty much.
See what sis said?
You got to be bought. Let's take a long walk.
A long walk
Jill
around
Scott.
the park. Facts.
Shout out.
What the advantage?
So y'all, I'm just, say this for them gold diggers and them women, who, want men to lead with their pocket. Good luck.
Low vibrational.
Fellas, get what you can get out of them. It is what it is. You lead with your vajayjay, that's what it is. They lead with their wallet, that's what it is. Ladies, stop being delusional.
No doubt.
Keep it together.
This was fun, Mrs.
I appreciate you helping me out.
You know it.
I be a little unmotivated sometimes, but then I get here.
No doubt.
I'm quite motivated.
You want to shout out everybody that checked in with you?
Yeah, it's all my people's
Give 'em some
knowledge
love.
and relationships was in the
Absolutely,
building.
he
Red
was.
Lipstick Bobs.
He was.
Danique, Anthony, Trash Can Waves was in the building.
Absolutely. Always.
Karma Coleon's always in the building. My girl, appreciate y'all. Go check her page out. Great artist. Wild Child DNA, one of the greatest DJs. Awesome guy. Go check him out. He got some awesome music.
All day.
All day.
That's my guy.
The Green Vegan was in the building. I
Yes, she
appreciate you,
was.
love.
Shout out
Thank
to
you for popping in.
Absolutely.
On everybody else, y'all watch it on the replay. Pardon all my cussing and stuff. I come from the hood. You can take me out the hood, but
Mimsy
you'll never
checked
take that
in.
hood
Hey,
from
Mimsy,
out.
thank you for checking
Mimsy
in.
popped in.
Yeah. And if we forgot you, blame it on our head, not our heart.
Absolutely.
Y'all know we love y'all.
Gotta get this dinner again. Sunday.
Word. And I had fun. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you came.
Shame on the ninja.
Real.
Who buck wild with the
the
trigger.
trigger.
Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan. And we see y'all next week, in 2 weeks actually, because we're gonna be out of town, but we may be on location. So look for us. We may be outside. We love each and every last one of y'all. Mrs., thank you for having me, man. It was really appreciated.
Y'all have a good Sunday.
You got a banner or something for him? What you got? What you got? I know
strategy.
you got something. You always got something. Always got something.